Hey scrappers, thought I'd show the little tear down of these statters. I've got the ends already cut off. Use angle grinder to cut them off. I got some oddballs here. This is part of that big load of motors from that AC guy. I had 3 of them over here that I got to do that are aluminum, and then I had 10 of them here that are, I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, if you can see the copper aluminum mix in there. That second one down there's got a lot of copper, just a little bit of aluminum. That one's got quite a bit of copper. This one here looks like about half and half. But I have some that were like this, so I cut the ends. I've done one of these so far, and I found that I kind of get it where it's propped up over something. I was using a C-clamp. Now I'll spread both of these sides out and then just kind of tap it down with the hammer. I'll spread the sides out with a screwdriver or something and tap it down with the hammer, then flip it over and pry it right out. Seemed to work pretty good. Kind of time consuming. So I've got about 6 of those or so to do. And then I got those 3 milk crates there full of motors, which I've already, like I said, I've already cut the one end off. Now I've got a whole bucket over here of all the ends that I cut off. And that bucket there, I weighed it the other day, was 23 pounds I think, but I've added another pound or 2 to it. Did 3 of those mixed motors today, so I got the copper from that in there. And I got all the aluminum. Now this is all the mixed ends in this little bucket, 2-gallon bucket, something like that. Of course, then I got all the motor ends. What did I figure? I had 53 pounds of those, something like that. All clean aluminum. So, getting a little bit there. I'll go ahead and put the tripod in the stand, and these mixed ones there, they go kind of slow because I got to stop and look at them all. Take it apart kind of easy. But good thing is, whenever each little group here, let me get the monitor plugged in. That way I can try to make sure I'm in the shot, but if I'm paying attention. Here we go. So there's the Okie, but it had no. But each of these little groups of wire, they'll either be copper or be aluminum. Not like those ones in the those 2 that I had mixed that were out of the compressors. I mean, they were just solidly mixed. So I'll go ahead and see if I can't zoom in just a little bit. It's been taking a little time, so I just broke my stool out and thought I might as well just get comfortable while doing this. First thing I do, I got that monitor right behind the camera, so I can't see the monitor. That's not really the best way to go, is it? What good's a monitor if you can't see it, right? I'll set it off to the side just a little bit. Move the monitor one direction, the camera the other. Yeah, now I can see it. Not that I need to look up there to see what I'm doing when I can look right here down from my hand. But first thing I do is, this is the side I already cut a lot of the strings on to get the wire out of, the insulated wire, to get it removed. I like using these hook blades. They don't seem to dull quite as fast as the straight ones. It's a little slower because you got to get up under each set of wires. Luckily I don't have to go all the way around because I've already done part of it. And once I get there, I'm going to fire up the air chisel here, so if you're wearing earbuds, you may want to turn the volume down. If the compressor kicks in, I'll just pause the video till the compressor catches up. That way we don't have to deal with all that noise. Get some of this tape off of there. Usually what I do, I'll try to just pull it out a little ways and go all the way around. Some of these copper strands are hard to tell sometimes. When cutting them, the aluminum seems to smear over the copper. Okay, there's that statter. Now it's a matter of just going through these, looking at the ends. That one's white, so I got a bucket right here on the side. I'm putting the aluminum ones in. And then I got that bucket behind me. I'm not sure if you can see the contrast there between the copper and the aluminum. Copper goes in the big bucket, aluminum in the little bucket. And pretty soon I'll have to start a bigger bucket for the aluminum, but right now this is handy having it right there beside the table here. Now see, this one here was one of those that was combined, but by the time you have this loop and then you have this loop, which one's aluminum, one's copper. And I try to get the strings out of there and any tape or whatever, clean it up the best I can. It's aluminum, copper. It almost looks aluminum because some of the aluminum smeared onto the end of it. I got a buffer over here I can take it to and clean it up if I need it, if I'm really in doubt. Plus some of this will have to be, this one here looks pretty much the same color, but on the insulation. But some of it, a few of them I've done, the copper was much darker. See, now here, this one here on this side is copper, and this one over here is aluminum. And you can see they're both in the same hole here, but they just split apart. And it looks like I missed a piece of plastic insulation on this bunch, and a little piece of string. I do that, I look in the bucket and see it. That one's copper. This one's copper. Yeah, I've just been taking it easy the last few days and doing a lot of running around. But the weather's getting nice, and so just enjoying retirement. But I knew I needed to get a video out, so I thought I'd get out here and do something. I got another review coming up. For an electric hoist. I can do away with my chain hoist here. I used that a couple times, but it's like the chain kept hanging up when I had the load on there, so I was kind of fighting it. I was tempted, I got another one, I was tempted to put it up, just never did. And then Beam Nova got a hold of me, and well, actually I looked around their website and saw that hoist. I thought, yeah, I could use that. So I thought, well, I'll get a hold of them and see if they won't send me one, and I'll do a review on it. So I figure I'll probably have to do a mounting. These loose strands, sometimes they're hard to tell if they're aluminum or copper. I'm just going to throw it into aluminum. Yeah, I can tell a couple of those are copper. Okay, anyway, that's all there was to that, isn't it? I think I've done 4 of them so far, and that's all the aluminum I've got. About half of an ice cream tub, so it's not too bad. Like I say, this one seems to have a lot of copper in it. That one there looks like it's mainly copper. It just has a few little spots of aluminum. I think a lot of them are going nowadays, if there's not a, you know, because these are mainly fan motors, so if there's not a really big heavy load on it, then they don't. There's one I started the other day. You don't need a lot of copper in there if there's not a big heavy workload on the motor. Like a fan usually doesn't take that much torque, so they seem to use a lot of aluminum in fan motors. So not sure how that's going to work out in the future. It's all aluminum. It won't be worth tearing apart like this. It'd be better throw it in a shredder. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to get off here and get the rest of these done, try to tear down those 3 aluminum ones, and then I'll go from there if I want to tear down some more. It's still early, so I'll probably get a bunch of these done. Might get these weird ones done. Get them. They're kind of time consuming, so maybe I'll knock them out later. Yeah, well, I can get another milk crate out of here, but I think there's 12, at least 12 motors in each milk crate. Yeah, probably at least 12. So there's a good 36 motors there, so I'm not sure, a couple pounds per motor maybe. So we'll see what we end up with. But like I said, I think out of the compressors, I got those 3 buckets of aluminum over there, and behind it's a bucket with 22 pounds of aluminum wire in it. And those 3 buckets there have roughly, what did I say, 86, 87 pounds, something like that. So, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment, I'd like to hear from you. And share with your friends. I want to remind everybody about my Amazon affiliate link, and I have the 4.5 inch cutoff discs that I use here. I buy them in 50 packages of 50 for like $27, and they seem to last pretty good, so they're working good for me anyway. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.